committed any mathematical blunder, because as long as the fundamental principle of mathematics is obeyed, then this statement is correct, because by law of indices, two terms of the same base, multiplication sign between them, you add the power, 2 plus 3, that's 5, and you have it here. So the fundamental principle is not violated. So in this situation, I go back to my first equation, where AR square equals to 4. So anywhere I see AR square in the second equation, I will replace it with what? 4. So I'll come here, AR square is here, so I will replace it by 4, or with 4. 4 times AR raised to power 3 equals to what? 32. So that becomes 4R cubed equals to 32. I'm looking for my R. The first thing I do is to divide both sides by 4. So by the time I divide both sides by 4, I will have this one cancelled. Then I have R cubed equals to 4 here 1, 4 here 8. So I have 8. Then I know that my R will definitely be cube root of 8. So cube root of 8 means 2 times 2 times 2. And that is definitely be 2 raised to power 3. So 2 raised to power 3, when you find the cube root of 2 raised to power 3, automatically you're going to get what? 2. So my common ratio is 2. So I go to my option and see the one that has correlation with that, and that is option D for question 5. Then question 6. The fourth term of an AP is 13, while the 10th term is 31. Find the 24th term. Look at the way this one is. So in this situation, we are given the 4th term. We are given the 10th term. Now, we are now asked to look for the 24th term. So the first thing we do here is to find our first term and our common difference. So by the time we get that, then we can now solve this very one. So what we are going to do in this respect is that we write our Tn, which is what we have been working with. So it should not be strange to us. So in this situation, we have a scenario like this. Then if you are talking about the fourth term, that is when n equals to 4. Then we have T4 equals to A plus 4 minus 1 D. Then I have T4 equals to A, 4 minus 1, 3. 3 times D, 3D. So I have this as my fourth term. Is the value given in the question? Yes, it is given to the what? 13. Let's call this equation 1. Then the question still move further to talk about the 10th term. So that is when n equals to 10. They have T10 equals to A plus 10 minus 1 D. They have T10 equals to A plus 10 minus 1, 9. 9 times D, 9D. And is that value given? It is given as what? 31. So I have this as equation 2. Now I'm having two equations of two unknown constants. That means I have no other option than to resolve into what? Into simultaneous equation. I have A plus 3D equals to 13, A plus 9D equals to 31. So by so doing, I can solve this simultaneously. And if I'm to solve this simultaneously, I will subtract the two equations. I will subtract equation 2 from equation 1. And by so doing, A minus A, it cancels, it becomes 0. 3D minus 9D, that becomes minus 6D. 13 minus 31, that becomes minus 8. That becomes 31 minus 13, that's 8. Then that's 18. It's 18, not minus 8. 18. So we have minus 6D minus 18. So in this situation, we are looking for our common difference. So we divide both sides by minus 6. Divide this by minus 6. Divide this by minus 6. Minus cancel minus 6 cancel 6. Minus cancel minus 6 here 1, 6 here 3. So I have my common difference to be 3. D equals to 3. So in this situation, we use a simpler equation, which is equation 1, to solve for our A. So this is what is equation 1? Equation 1 is A plus 3D equals to 13. So what is D? D is 3. So anywhere we see D in the equation, we substitute with this. We substitute the value of 3. So anywhere we see D, let's replace D with 3. So A plus 3 into 3 equals to 13. So we have A plus 3 times 3, 9 equals to 13. So our A will be 13 minus 9. So our A will definitely be 4. So here we have our A to be 4. So we have gotten our A, we have also gotten our D. So we have the two values complete. So in this situation, we can now go ahead to solve for 24th term. 24th term means when our n equals to 24. And since we have T24, will now be A plus 24 minus 1, everything affected by D. So here we have T24 to be equals to A plus 24 minus 1, that's 23. 23 times D, that would be 23D. So let's now solve for this 24th term. What is our A? Our A is 4 plus, what is our D? Our D is 3. So what are we doing here? So 23 times 3, that is 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 2, 6, plus 4. So we have 69 plus 4, that would definitely be 1 plus this 70. 70, that would be 73. So our C24, that is 24th term, will be 73. So let's go to our option and see the one that will matches that. So in this situation, it will definitely be option C, which is what? 73. Now, question 7. What is the common ratio of the GP? So you have this. If you look at this question critically, you discover that apart from testing you on progression, the knowledge of sort is also of significance here. So let's see what we have. So the common ratio of the GP this. So this GP is in series. So in this situation, that means for this particular GP, our first term is definitely going to be root 10 plus 5 plus root 5. Then the question asks us to determine the common ratio, and knowing fully well that once you have a successive GP, if first term, second term, third term are in GP, the common ratio R will definitely be equal to the second term divided by the first term, or which is equal to the third term divided by the second term. But in this situation, we are only given two known terms, that are the first and the second term. So what it means is that our common ratio will definitely be equal to the second term, that is root 10 plus 2 root 5, divided by the first term, which is root 10 plus root 5. You can see what I'm saying. So in this situation, and the question asks us to find our common ratio. So our common ratio can only be determined by rationalizing this expression. So we have root 10 plus 2 root 5 divided by root 10 plus root 5. In this situation, if you have to rationalize this is a conjugate sort. So we rationalize this by its conjugate. So when you have root 10 plus root 5, what it means is, what is the conjugate of root 10 plus root 5? The conjugate of root 10 plus root 5 will definitely be what? Root 10 minus root 5. So we now take the fraction of itself, which is root 10 minus root 5. We now use to multiply this expression that we have. And since we know that this expression is equal to what? The common ratio. So what we are going to do now is our common ratio will definitely be equal to root 10 plus 2 root 5 over root 10 plus root 5 times root 10 minus root 5 over root 10 minus root 5. What have we done? We have succeeded in rationalizing this. So let's solve it step by step so that we don't end up making mistake. Root 10 times root 10, that is root 100. Root 100 minus root 10 times root 5, that's root 50. This one is root 50. Take note of that. Now I've solved this. Then this other part, plus root 5 times root 10, that will be plus 2 root 50. Plus root 5 times minus root 5. This one will be plus times minus minus. So this one will be 2 root 25. Then we are now divide by this times this, root 100. This is root 100. This times this minus root 50. This times this plus root 50. This times this minus root 25. So let's try and simplify what we have. Roots R now becomes, what is root 100? 10. Minus root 50 plus root 50. That would definitely be plus root 50. That is why it is very pertinent to note this addition and subtraction of sorts, because it's very, very important here. Then this one becomes, what is root 25? Root 25 is 5. 5 times minus 2, that is minus 10. Take note. Over root 100 is what? 10. Minus root 50 plus root 50 to cancel out. Root 25 is what? 5. There is a minus there. So minus 5. Then here, plus 10 minus 10, that is 0. So we have root 50 over, what is this? This one is 10 minus 5, 5. So I have R equals to, root 50 is the same thing as saying 25 times 2 under this root over 5. Then what is root 25? 5. Root 25 is 5. Then into